Speaking of Philly, how do you feel about the situation between Will and Jada?
When I think of what's going on with Will and Jada, I think that first of all, we have to understand when people love each other, if they genuinely love each other, and if they're married, there is a natural psychological tendency to grow apart. Will and Jada have been together for a minute now. It may very well be a situation where he has outgrown her and she may have outgrown him. I know when most people think of marriage from a religious perspective, it comes with a narrative that you're going to stay together forever. As a psychologist, I don't necessarily endorse that view because if you met each other at a certain point in life, it should be acceptable or at least understandable that two people can grow apart. From what I've heard, they do not have a prenuptial agreement. If that is true, that Will does not have a prenuptial agreement, that helps to understand everything that's transpiring. I believe the reason he's still with her at this point is to safeguard his estate, which he should. And I think the reason why she's being so disrespectful, blatantly disrespectful, bringing up Tupac's proposal. Why is that coming up now? Saying Chris Rock tried to hit on her. Why is that being said to the public after this man and your husband got into an altercation at the Emmys? From what it looks like on the outside looking in, and I have nothing against Jada at all. Obviously, I'm a Will Smith fan. Only actor in American history to garner 10 consecutive number one box office hits. Nobody has ever done that, not even Denzel. Will Smith is the only actor to do that in American history. And on top of that, he's the first rapper to win a Grammy. So his place in history is etched solid. And I just think it's an unfortunate situation because he's been through a lot of things in his life. I never met him personally, but obviously he came out with the book detailing his situation. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but of course I get the reports from it. And I just think it's unfortunate what's going on because on the one hand, you have a man who doesn't want to get took to the cleaners by a woman who really didn't help him build his brand or his name. And on the other hand, you have a woman who says to herself, arguably, I gave you two children. I was here for the journey, although I may not have had anything to do directly with your success. I was still your emotional comfort. I was still your wife, your confidant, your partner. And I think she wants out the marriage. And I just think she's going at it in a very dysfunctional way. I think she's trying to embarrass him into divorcing her. That's what I think is going on. I saw a clip where they were being interviewed and someone said something to the effect of marriage or divorce. I forget the question or the comment, but Jada responded by saying, quote, "is cheaper to keep her." I think they said, "Why are you two still together?" And it was in a joking way. They weren't being, there was no animosity. They were not being adversarial. It wasn't even a serious conversation. It was very laid back and relaxed in a joking dialogue. But the person said, "Why are you guys still together?" And Jada Pinkett Smith's response was, "It's cheaper to keep her." He didn't say that. She said it. And I think that speaks to the fact that there was no prenuptial agreement.
Wow, man. So you think she's making all these comments intentionally hoping that he'll divorce her?
Absolutely. If you're not going to let me out of this marriage and give me half of what I feel I'm entitled to, because that's, the American way, women get half of the man's estate, even if they didn't help him build it. And no disrespect to Jada, there's a very strong possibility that she helped Will get to where he is. I really can't see how because he was always talented. I remember going to a Will Smith concert right here in Philadelphia down at the Spectrum. It was Will Smith, New Edition was the headliners. It was Will Smith, Jazzy Jeff, Roxanne Shante, UTFO. I was a young blood back then. And I still remember Will when he was a rapper on stage. And once he went to Fresh Prince and then Independence Day and all those movies he was just a hit. The man was a hit. Every movie he put out, garnered billions of dollars at the box office. So, but again, I want to be respectful to her. That's a marriage. There's some things behind the scenes that we don't know about, where she could probably argue that she played a significant role, in his development as an actor. I don't know, or as a businessman. But from the outside looking in as a Philadelphian, I don't see that. And I really just feel it's a situation where he's not going to give up half of what he has, and she's going to continue to antagonize him with the belief that if she gets on his nerves enough, he might let her out of the arrangement.